Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best gaming monitor for Xbox.
Starting at number 5.
Acer XF 243Y. If you want a simple and cheap monitor to use with your Xbox Series X, consider the Acer Nitro XF 243Y Miverx. It has a smaller 24-inch screen and lower 1080p resolution than the Gigabyte M27U, meaning images aren't as detailed. It also means that it isn't an ideal choice for co-op gaming, but it has wide viewing angles and incredible ergonomics that help you share the screen with a friend sitting beside you. It's a great gaming monitor, and while its overall motion handling isn't as good as the Gigabyte, it still has a great response time at 120 Hz. However, it's worse at 60 Hz with VRR enabled, as there's overshoot that causes inverse ghosting, but at least its VRR support works with the Xbox to reduce screen tearing. You can also disable VRR if you want better motion handling at 60 Hz, but that could lead to screen tearing in games that don't have fixed frame rates. In terms of compatibility, it works best with 1080p signals at 60 Hz and 120 Hz from the Xbox, but it still downscales 4K and 1440p images with a 60 Hz refresh rate.
Coming at number 4.
Acer Nitro 27-inch. If you want the best Xbox Series X monitor on a budget, consider the Gigabyte M27U. As you get into budget monitors, you'll find displays with lower resolutions and without HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. While this means budget monitors can't take full advantage of the Xbox like the Gigabyte M27U, most are still good enough for console gaming. That's the case with the M27U, as it works with any signal from the console except for 4K at 120 Hz, and it even downscales 4K signals, which results in a slightly more detailed image than 1440p signals. It has a slower response time than the M27U, but the motion handling is still good enough that you won't notice much blur. It has a backlight strobing feature to reduce screen tearing, but it doesn't work with 60 Hz signals and causes image duplication, so if that bothers you, it's best not to use it altogether. There are other low-cost monitors you can also consider with better motion handling, like the LG 27GP850B/27GP83BB, but it tends to cost a bit more, so it's only worth getting if you care about motion handling.
At number 3.
Gigabyte M27U27. If you're looking for something cheaper in the mid-range price category, check out the Gigabyte M27U. It's similar to the LG 32GQ950B, with a 4K resolution but a smaller screen. The main difference is that it has worse motion handling at 120 Hz, but the response time is still quick, so motion looks smooth regardless. It supports HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, but it's limited to 24 gigabits per second HDMI bandwidth, which is half of the LG's 48 gigabits per second bandwidth. This means that the Xbox needs to use compression for demanding signals, which could negatively impact the picture quality, but 4K at 120 Hz signals still work without issue. Luckily, it has a few extra features that the LG doesn't have, like a backlight strobing feature that you can use as low as 60 Hz, and it helps reduce persistence blur, but it also has some flicker issues at times. If you find the 27-inch screen too small and want something bigger, the Gigabyte M32U is a similar monitor with a bigger screen. However, because it costs more for a minimal difference in performance, only consider it if you want the larger size.
Number 2 of my list.
LG Ultra Gear UHD. If you want a high-end monitor but don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles of the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32BG85, consider the LG 32GQ950B. It's a 32-inch, 4K monitor like the Samsung, with the main difference being that it doesn't have mini LED backlighting. It doesn't offer the same great picture quality, but if your main focus is on gaming performance and not the picture quality, it's an excellent option. If you care about having great picture quality, you can also consider the Inign 27M2V, which gets brighter and has a better local dimming feature than the LG, but it has increased input lag at 60 Hz and can be harder to find at times. The LG has a lower 160 Hz refresh rate than the Samsung, but that doesn't make a difference, as the Xbox reaches a max of 120 Hz anyway. It also has remarkable motion handling, even with 120 Hz and 60 Hz signals. It works well with the Xbox Series X because it has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth that lets you take full advantage of the console. Its VRR support also works with most signals on the console to reduce screen tearing.
And number 1.
Samsung 32-inch Odyssey. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32BG85 is the best monitor for Xbox Series X that we've tested. It's a fantastic gaming display with an incredibly fast response time across its entire refresh rate range, ensuring a smooth and responsive gaming experience. Although the Xbox Series X can't take full advantage of the monitor's 240 Hz refresh rate, it delivers an incredible gaming experience with smooth motion handling even at 120 Hz, and it's fully compatible with everything the Xbox offers. The high refresh rate is also great if you want to connect a gaming PC, but if you prefer getting something cheaper with a lower 165 Hz refresh rate, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7S32BG75 is an excellent option that you can often find for less. The Neo G8's picture quality stands out thanks to its impressive mini LED backlighting, which allows for fine control of the local dimming zones. It results in a great HDR experience, with bright highlights that pop next to deep blacks and very little blooming in dark scenes. It displays a wide range of colors, and, combined with its high peak brightness, colors look vivid for a great HDR gaming experience.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.